So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for this week's Thursday 30. I'm Jenny, one of the advisory speech and language therapists at CENMAC. I'll be talking about the use of modelling to support AAC development. Although some of the videos in the presentation show uses of powered or high-tech AAC, this training is equally as valid and relevant to support paper-based AAC. Just another word about the videos before I start. There isn't sufficient time to show you the entire video recording. The links for the videos are in the Teams invite you have received to watch in your own time. All are on YouTube. This session is being recorded for anyone who can't join us live, and the recording will soon be available on our website for anyone who has missed it or would like to re-watch it. If you have any questions, put them in the chat and I'll answer them at the end of the session. So today's session, we'll be looking at why modelling of AAC is important, when to model AAC, who models AAC, and how do we model. The term AAC refers to augmentative and alternative communication. Augmentative refers to supporting, augmenting speech, where the child or young person has limited speech or lacks speech clarity to be understood by others. Alternative refers to an alternative means of communication, where the child or young person is non-speaking and may need an alternative tool to communicate. There are different types of AAC. These can be categorized as aided or unaided. It's likely that the child or young person and their home and education environment use a range of different AAC. It is important to acknowledge all types of AAC. Unaided communication includes gestures, facial expressions, body language, signing. Aided communication includes paper-based and power-based AAC. Paper-based may involve use of writing, drawing, texting, pointing to letters, words, symbols, photos, and so on. So includes all the use of noun exports, choice boards, core boards, communication books. Power-based may involve recorded messages or use of a communication app on a device such as an iPad or phone. You may have come across the term VOCA, Voice Output Communication Aid, which is powered AAC. Powered AAC may involve alternative access methods such as head pointing, eye gaze, switch scanning, and so on. From a developmental language perspective, a young child of 18 months has received more than 4,000 hours of spoken language exposure from caregivers and from others around them. In order to achieve a similar level of exposure for AAC use, it would take 84 years, based on an hour per week of infrequent exposure. The maths clearly shows us that we need to significantly increase the AAC user's AAC exposure, and we do this via communication partners modelling AAC. This is a well-known quote highlighting that having a piano does not make you a musician, just as having a communication device does not make you an effective communicator. They both require time, commitment, effort, learning, and practice. The same with learning another language. Learning to use an AAC device to communicate is similar to learning a new language for both the AAC user and for the communication partners. We're all familiar with the term modelling in terms of showing someone how to do something. But for modelling of AAC, it's about, as highlighted in bold on this slide, the communication partner showing how the AAC is used to communicate. Another term you might come across for modelling AAC is aided language stimulation. The last point on the slide is really important. Modelling AAC is not about I do it and then you do it. It's about modelling without expectation. That means without expectation of an immediate response or copying. This video gives a clear overview of using modelling as a tool to teach AACUs. I'll just play you the beginning and you can always follow up in your own time. Just to highlight modelling without expectation, the communication partner's role is to model use of the AAC to communicate. It's not about testing. It's okay if the AAC user is not responding or copying use of the AAC. We carry on modelling and we model without expectation. This video by the AAC coach on modelling without expectations sums it up really well. We've covered why modelling AAC is important. The video we just saw highlights the importance of modelling AAC without expectation for real, authentic communication purposes. So when do we model AAC? In summary, as much as possible, we model AAC across different settings and for different communication purposes. We model AAC to support the child or young person's understanding, as well as expressing the message they're communicating. We want the AAC user to be able to express all different types of communications beyond requesting. We communicate for all different reasons, and we can be modelling these on the AAC. Who models use of AAC? Ideally, everyone around the AAC user, or as many people as possible, in different settings and across different activities. We want to involve as many people as possible because they are the communication partners for the AAC user. They are the ones modelling and supporting use of AAC. Back to the discussion about learning to use a communication device is like learning a musical instrument or a new language. The communication partner must also learn how to use the AAC device in order to support the AAC user. The last section is all about how do we model use of AAC. Simple AAC is a framework by Smartbox that summarizes how best to support early AAC learners and to develop their communication skills. I'll just run through the simple AAC framework. S is for show. Point to symbols as you talk to model language. You don't need to point to every word, just the most important ones. We saw examples of that in the modelling videos. You speak as you usually do and just point to the key words. I is for interesting. Connection and fun comes before the AAC modelling. The AAC user is more likely to engage if they are having fun or if they're interested in the activity. M is for months and months. We've talked about learning to use AAC takes lots of time. Just keep modelling. P is for pause. Give lots of time for the AAC user to process your modelling, to initiate and to respond. Pausing gives you more time to observe and follow so that you can respond to their communication and let them lead, which strengthens connection and engagement. L is for language. Back to the slide about reasons for communication. Model all different types of words, not just requests or nouns. Different types of words also enables sentence building. E is for explore. Give plenty of time for the learner to explore the device. Whatever they are selecting, respond to this, even if they are unclear what it is, even if you are unclear what it is they are communicating. We'll be talking more about this later on, how to attribute meaning to the AAC user's communications. A is for add word. Add a word to what the AAC learner says. They may be saying this verbally or on the AAC. Another A is always available. If the device is not always available, modelling can't take place, and nor can the AAC user use it. C for commenting. Use the device to talk about what's happening. Instead of asking questions you know the answers to, comment by talking about the answer instead. This is a great video showing modelling use of core words. More about core words very soon. Remember S for show in simple AAC. In the video, the adult is showing the children use of the core words alongside her speech. It's a really fun and motivating activity, as you can tell by the children's responses. So what are core words? They make up 75 to 80% of the words we use in our day-to-day communication. Core words include verbs, adjectives, prepositions, as well as nouns. Going back to L for language in simple AAC, model different types of words, not just things. So model different core words. Core words are super powerful because there are lots of different opportunities to use them across different contexts. For example, the core word look. Think about throughout the day, there are numerous times you can use this at home, at school, out and about, and so on. For example, can I look? Do you want to look? Look up there. Look at the bus. You look tired, and so on. The other 20% of the words we use routinely are fringe words. These tend to be activity specific and are often interest or request specific. The children and young people we support may be motivated to make requests using fringe words, but less so to use core words. If you want to find out more about core words, this video is really clear. You can follow on this in your own time. Core words include adjectives. Descriptive teaching in AAC is where we focus on the core words already in the device to describe and talk about the learning. The example here is using descriptive vocabulary for the noun oven or hob. You might say cook food, hot, be careful, and so on in terms of descriptive vocabulary. Okay, over to you. Which descriptive vocabulary can you use for fireworks? Maybe you can just put down your ideas in the chat and I can call out some of these. I'm assuming you can access the chat. Yes, wow, yes, I can see them. Yes, sparkle, bright, flash, fantastic. Okay, right. Thank you everyone for joining in. We'll move on to the next slide. Okay, loud, colourful, bright. Yes, all these are actually on this slide. So indeed, we can add to this list. If you want to find out more about descriptive teaching in AAC, this leaflet from AAC Language Lab is easy to follow. So continuing with what do we do as the AAC Users Communication Partner? How we respond to the AAC Users Communication attempts is really important. In order to respond, you need to pause and wait. This gives you time to observe, and then you can follow and respond. You can respond by acknowledging and attributing meaning to the AAC Users Communication, and you can respond by commenting. For more information, download the leaflet on communication partner skills for AAC learners on the Assistive website. I'll just show you the start of this video on attributing meaning. The last aspect I'll briefly talk about is commenting. We all ask lots of questions, so the starting point is ask less questions and make more comments. Here are some ideas about what you can comment on. You can describe what you think and what you see when conversing with the AAC user. You can describe their student's work, what's happening around you. Use descriptive teaching vocabulary that we've just talked about. You can attribute meaning by describing what the student may be communicating. You can use self-talk and parallel talk when commenting. Self-talk is talking about what you are seeing, touching, feeling, smelling, hearing. Parallel talk is talking about what the AAC learner is seeing, touching, feeling, smelling, hearing. Note that in the examples here, the core words are highlighted in bold. Lots of core words are used in commenting. So a video on commenting. I really like this video for how everyone is having so much fun. There's lots of modeling, waiting, communicating, and responding going on. This top tip summary from Smartbox is a helpful reminder about what to do to maximize AAC modeling. I'm aware of time, so I'll leave it with you to follow up on downloading the booklet. So this leaflet is taken from the booklet, but there's lots of other very useful, helpful information. This is the last video. It's the only video that is not available on YouTube for you to access another time. It's a great video about letting the AAC user lead, even though it may be the direction, or rather it may not be the direction you're wanting or expecting. Also, it highlights having everyone around the AAC user involved with modeling. Sorry, I think I've missed a slide. Oh, no, I haven't. No. Right, for those of you who hasn't seen the Thursday 30 presentation by Claire Reynolds, a tutor at New City College, do look it up. So Claire talks about how they have embedded use of paper-based and powered AAC with TD Snap communication app. There are many great videos showing modeling and the young people using AAC. So that's on the Thursday 30 recordings. Similarly, this Thursday 30 presentation was given by Faye Howlett. She's the teacher of Ascend Provision at Clockhouse School. She talks about how they have implemented paper-based and powered AAC with the Grid Communication app. Again, there are lots of many lovely videos of modeling and the children using AAC. We're at the end. So just to say that all the CENMAC images are copyrighted material, and many thanks to Widget for use of the symbols. And a very big thank you to Assistive, Smartbox, Liberator, and Tony Dynavox for the resources shared. Do look up their websites. They have an amazing range of resources and training available. On the CENMAC webpage, you can find lots of information regarding assistive technology. This includes resources and information on AAC. You can sign up to the Thursday 30 training and attend these live or access the recording after the event. You can also go to the CENMAC website for past Thursday 30 recordings. So any questions? I'm going to have a quick look in chat just in case there are.